And my aunts would say, if I were going with them somewhere as a little boy, they'd say, "Make haste,
Make
make
haste.
haste, make haste, hurry up."
Uh-huh.
That was their version of "hurry up," and I think it was a reflection of the Scottish heritage that many of them were remembering ancestrally, you know. But the South is a fascinating place to live because of the colorful language that we speak. I just heard Rick Bragg, who was at the public library last night, talk about his books about his family in Alabama, and he's a masterful storyteller. He tells stories about his family. I'm sure that not everybody in his family approves of everything he's written about his family, but it's his take on growing up in this very, very poor family.
And you discussed your family also.
Exactly.
You said.
And I had some negative response from my brothers. I have 4 brothers.
Oh, really?
And, they've never been quite sure what I was doing all this time away from home. You know, they've all married and stayed in the same little farming community where we were born. Yeah, and but they've been very tolerant. You know, they said, "Wade, it's okay. He'll come home one of these days." But
so you're a wild adventurer.
I'm sure I am.
Kentucky.
Far north. This is a long way.
Oh.
And but they. They're getting too high. So I'm probably... But anyway, this book, Conecuh People, was made in... wrote the script, but he sent it to me and for some suggestions, and I consulted with him on the script while he was writing it, and I approved it. And, received an email from my youngest brother, and all it said was, "Dear Wade, why do you hate your family?"
Ooh.
And I thought, my gosh, I don't hate my family. I was trying to pay tribute to my family in the book, and not only to my family, but to the people in the entire community where I grew up. I wasn't trying to hate, but you can't just tell sweet things about people. You know, it's sometimes the dark side that makes them human.
Uh-huh.
And that was my defense. But when they saw the play, they liked. I thought I'd be run out of the county. I was afraid because you don't know how it's going to look on the stage.
Uh-huh.
And it was just people were laughing and crying throughout the opening night. So I was very gratified. All of my family, all my brothers and their wives and children and grandchildren just loved it. So I guess I was
good.
I was
Are you ever
vindicated.
going to bring it to Louisville?
Well, I don't think it would have not much interest up here, but who knows? One of these days, somebody might
It's
do
a
it.
curious thing what Alabama people, how they live and so forth.
Well, Kentucky has benefited from several Alabamans. James Still, the late James Still, who lived over in Lyman, Kentucky, and wrote better than anybody about the Kentucky mountains, was from Alabama. Mm-hmm. And a writer who lives here in Louisville, Gina Naslin, is from Birmingham, Alabama. Mm-hmm. She wrote Ahab's Wife and has just finished a book on the Birmingham church bombings.
Mm-hmm. By the way, pardon me, I don't mean to interrupt, but before I forget about it, for people that are interested in getting hold of some of your books, what's the best way to do that?
Well, used and antiquarian booksellers have copies. Most of these books are out of print. I would suggest that you go to the internet mm-hmm. and go to a search engine like bookfinder.com.
Uh-huh.
Bookfinder.com.
And just type in WADE HALL,
yeah. Wade Hall, and then you'll get all the books that are available for sale. And you never know where the bookseller is going to be. It could be somebody in Maine or California just as easily as in Kentucky or Alabama. I'm not an addict, but I'm a fan of the internet. I think it's an incredible advancement, human advancement. I'm excited about the possibilities. And of course, now when you write books, you have to write them on the computer so that publisher doesn't have to reset the type. He can just edit the book and print it out and publish it from your discs. It makes writing and publishing a lot easier, mechanically easier. The process of writing is not any easier. It's still hard. It's hard work. It's not as hard as picking cotton, but it's still hard work.
Do you mean the process of the whole organizational process and,
Yeah.
and
It's not
writing and rewriting
Yeah.
and editing and
No.
it's hard work.
Yeah, it is hard work, but it's exciting work. The hardest part of writing for me is getting started, sitting down,
Oh yeah.
and writing that first sentence. And once I get into it, the clock, it doesn't matter anymore. Sometimes I'll wake